I'm going to talk about the difference between dangerous and careless driving. Now, careless driving is sometimes called driving without due care and attention. It means exactly the same thing. Now, the law gives us a definition for careless driving, and that definition is driving that falls below what would be expected of a careful and competent driver. The definition of dangerous driving is almost the same, but there's one word added in. So rather than being below that standard, it's driving that falls far below what would be expected of a careful and competent driver. Now, the law doesn't give us any examples of either careless driving or dangerous driving, but we can come up with some examples from typical cases. So these are some examples of careless driving. Things like overtaking on the inside, an overtaking manoeuvre which results in a collision. Driving too close to the vehicle in front could be careless driving, and then things like pulling out of a side road or turning right across oncoming traffic. If you're distracted, doing things like turning on a car radio might well be careless driving, and they tend to be kind of things which are often a momentary lapse of concentration or a misjudgment at low speed, so things like that would also be careless driving. So most instances of bad driving could be careless driving. Now, for the driving to be classed as dangerous, it needs to be more serious. So the offence is more serious. So when we're talking about dangerous driving, we're talking about things like police chases, we're talking about competitive driving or racing on the roads, we're talking about not looking out for vulnerable road users, people like pedestrians or cyclists. If you're not looking out for them properly, that could be classed as dangerous driving. Very aggressive driving is dangerous. Fast lane changes, cutting in front of people, driving much too close to the vehicle in front could well be dangerous. Having a deliberate disregard for traffic signs or road signs, things like going round roundabouts the wrong way, going straight through junctions on a red light, ignoring stop signs, ignoring give way signs, particularly when driving at fast speed would certainly be dangerous driving. As well as not following warnings from passengers. So if there's some evidence that passengers are telling you to slow down or not drive in the way you are, that could well be dangerous driving as well. If you perform, or if a driver performs an unsafe overtaking manoeuvre that could never ever be completed properly, that would be dangerous. As well as driving with a dangerous medical condition. So say for example you've got your leg in plaster, or you've got uncorrected eyesight, that kind of thing will be dangerous. Driving vehicles with a dangerous defect, brakes not working properly, steering not working properly, that kind of thing could certainly be classed as dangerous driving. We've also heard about cases where people have been reading texts or reading emails on their phone, even worse, sending texts and sending emails, certainly could be dangerous driving, could be a much more serious type of offence, as well as reading a book or a map or something like that, which would seriously distract you from the road. Now, the reason that the distinction is so important is because of the way that these cases are dealt with. Low-end cases of careless driving could be dealt with by the police. They could offer a driver awareness course or even a fixed penalty for 3 penalty points and £100. But if the cases do go to court, they have to stay in the magistrate's court and can be dealt with by a fine and either penalty points or a disqualification. So most cases are dealt with by penalty points, anything between 3 and 9 penalty points, but more serious cases of careless driving can certainly result in a driving ban. Dangerous driving is different. It can be dealt with in the magistrate's court or in the Crown Court. If the magistrate's court deal with a case, they have power to impose a prison sentence of up to 6 months. They can also give a community order as well as a fine. If the case goes to the Crown Court, then the Crown Court have all those options, but they can also impose a prison sentence of up to 2 years. All courts, when they deal with dangerous driving, must disqualify from driving. So it's a mandatory thing of at least 12 months. And then following that 12 months, the driver then has to do an extended retest before they have their licence back. I hope that the information in this video has been useful. If it was, please share it with your friends by clicking on the buttons at the bottom of the screen. There's also a link in the notes to a blog on my website where you can find more information.